This is sugarcane, and it was once one of the largest export crops from Jamaica, tracing its roots back to the 17th century. It is believed that the Jamaica sugar industry is over 500 years old, going as far back to 1509 when the island was under Spanish rule. Later on, the British would take control of the island and eventually establish vast plantations, turning it into a global sugar hub, becoming the leading exporter of sugar in the world. Jamaica's sugar industry reached its highest level of production in 1965 when 516,825 tons of sugar was produced from 4,731,943 tons of sugarcane that was reaped from 59,773 hectares of land. But today, we are nowhere near those levels of production, and in 2022, Jamaica only managed to produce 48,000 tons of sugar. So, what happened? How did we went from 516,000 tons in 1965 to only 48,000 tons in 2022? In this video, we'll explore the rise and fall of Jamaica's sugar industry. When the British expelled the Spaniards from the island, they saw great potential in the production of sugar, and so they transformed sugar production into a massive enterprise. Enormous plantations dominated the landscape, powered by enslaved labor, quickly becoming the backbone of Jamaica's economy, leading to substantial wealth for plantation owners. Jamaica was well suited for the production of sugar's main ingredient, sugarcane, as the plant flourishes in hot and humid regions with steady rainfall and temperature coupled with well-fertile soil. At the time, there was high demand for sugar in Europe, so in order to run and expand the massive plantations, the English settlers turned to enslave African labor, forcibly bringing thousands of individuals to work on the sugar estates. This in turn enabled the slave trade and caused the industry to flourish, which made Jamaica one of the biggest producers of sugar in the world at the time, accounting for approximately 20% of the global sugar supply, with output reaching as high as 101,194 tons in 1805. Jamaica's sugar industry in the 18th century was successful because of one reason, and that's the enslaved labor population that cultivated the crop and processed it. But things were about to change, as the abolition of slavery in the 19th century dealt a severe blow to Jamaica's sugar industry. The shift from slave labor to paid labor resulted in increased production costs, which was followed by a slow decline in subsequent years. Furthermore, other countries, notably Brazil and Cuba, emerged as formidable competitors, utilizing more efficient production methods. Many smaller, less profitable sugar estates were abandoned or consolidated into larger estates as the cost of maintaining operations became unsustainable, leading to some plantations ceasing sugar production altogether. Some plantation owners shift to growing other crops such as bananas, cocoa, coffee, and citrus fruits, which could be cultivated using smaller labor forces and were in demand in international markets. By 1913, Jamaica's sugar output continued to decline, and only 4,969 tons of sugar was produced that year. Other factors that led to the decline of sugar was diseases. The most common varieties of sugarcane grown in Jamaica were the white transparent and bourbon, which were all susceptible to the mosaic sugarcane virus, a significant viral disease causing substantial losses in yield and affecting the quality of sugarcane production. The disease is primarily transmitted by aphids, though it can also spread through infected planting materials. The disease causes leaves to turn brown, leading to premature death of the plant. In order to curtail this problem, a South African variety resistant to the mosaic virus called the Yuba cane was introduced in 1916, followed by several high-yielding varieties such as the BH1012 introduced in 1918, and several Javanese, also known as Java varieties, were introduced in the 1920s. With the introduction of these new varieties, the sugar industry was once again thriving as sugarcane and sugar production increased. Another major contributing factor to the revival of Jamaica's sugar industry was the arrival of additional labor to fill the gap of the labor shortage resulting from emancipation. Indentured laborers such as Chinese, East Indians, Irish and others arrived, seeking a better life, under contractual agreements to work on the sugar estates. Jamaica's sugar industry reached its peak in 1965 when production reached an all-time high of 514,825 tons, becoming one of the leading sugar producers in the world. But that would be the highest production level the country would ever achieve, and from there on, the industry has been on a downward trajectory. In the 1900s, there were approximately 140 sugar factories in Jamaica. This amount declined to 30, then to 6, and today there are only 2 operating factories remaining in the country. Worthy Park Estate, located in St. Catherine Parish, operates both a sugarcane plantation and a sugar processing factory. It has a long history in Jamaica's sugar industry and has adapted by producing branded sugar and rum. The second factory is Monimus Plantation, situated in Clarendon. Monimus Plantation is an operational sugar estate and factory in Jamaica and has a history dating back to the colonial era and has diversified operations to include not only sugar production but also rum production. Currently, these factories are only able to produce raw sugar due to lack of capacity to process refined sugar. Another reason which led to a decrease in sugar production in Jamaica and other sugar-producing countries was the discovery of sugar beets, a plant whose roots contains high concentration of sucrose. Sugar beets were first recognized for their sugar content in the late 18th century by German chemist Andreas Marggraf and his student Franz Karl Orchard, and they pioneered the commercial production of sugar from sugar beets in 1801. Since sugar beets can be cultivated in temperate climates unlike sugarcane, which primarily grows in tropical regions, the processing of sugar beets in turn disrupted the global sugar industry. Regions such as Jamaica that traditionally relied on sugarcane cultivation faced increased competition as sugar beet production expanded. The fall of the sugar industry reverberated across Jamaica, leaving a profound impact on its economy and culture. Despite the challenges, it spurred innovation and diversification as the island sought new avenues for growth. Today, while the sugarcane industry glory days are in the past, its legacy endures in Jamaica's cultural tapestry and cuisine. The story of its rise and fall stands as a testament to the island's resilience and ability to adapt in changing times.